1979. Just for a moment, let's transcend all space and time. Enjoy each other's company and not disclaim, "But I'm." Let's clear away those hazy mists and realize the universe exists. Parallel lives. On September 22nd, 1888, a baby girl came into the world. Her parents were a sturdy German couple who owned a small restaurant and some acreage in the Hunsrück Mountains. They were just getting by in a village of 70 or 80 families. With their 7 children, they lived a peaceful life among the cows and chickens, moving through the seasons with faith in God. In time, the little girl grew to be a healthy young woman. Only 7 months after the birth of this little girl, on April 21st, and about 400 miles to the south, a little boy was born to another German couple. With no other children, they had the resources to provide him with books and an education as he grew into a healthy young man. The two never met, yet both have influenced my life in immeasurable ways. Does anyone know whether the sun had stopped shining? How did the storm clouds gain enough strength to crowd the human spirit? Not only these 2 children, but millions of others were born into a world which was just becoming industrialized. Babies had to compete with machines for the attention of their parents, and the machines were winning. By 1914, the spiral had gone out of control. Bombs were flying against bombs. Flamethrowers were throwing flames against each other, and poison gases suffused everything. The world didn't know whether it was made out of gaseous, liquid, or solid elements, but there was no doubt that its plasma had become toxic. The young woman, who had become a maid to a city family, kept her illegitimate child a secret from her married lover. She eventually married a widowed railroad engineer and bore 3 more children. The young man failed to qualify for the professional art schools he hoped to enter, and eventually became a member of a large group of malcontents. The young woman's background of hard work and strong family ties no doubt helped her endure the hardships of giving birth and nurturing children in the midst of the chaos. In the meanwhile, the young man served as a volunteer in an infantry regiment, operating mostly as a headquarters runner. He endured a leg wound and a gassing in the hostilities. After relative peace was restored, the young woman raised a family which remains strong to this day. The young man was awarded high honors for bravery in action and found a new purpose, horrifying to be sure, which his hitherto unsuccessful youth had failed to yield. Maria, my indomitable grandmother, lives in me, but occasionally seems to succumb to Adolf, her spectral contemporary, who has not yet relinquished his evil influence on my life. The struggle between them continues to fuel my rage. An open letter to President Bush and Governor Schwarzenegger. May 7, 2006. Let's get this straight. I'm an immigrant and naturalized U.S. citizen. My husband is a natural-born U.S. citizen, son of an illegal immigrant, long since deceased. Together we have been law-abiding citizens and taxpayers for over 100 years, over 50 each. It's not easy for me to observe the current hullabaloo and sort out the media hubbub regarding immigration. Considering my history, how can I possibly choose sides? Well, let me try. Rather than getting crazy about millions of people who've come legally or illegally to the United States to work, I'd like to focus on those who've come or will come across our southern border to commit serious felonies. If I'm to believe some of the media hype and Department of Justice figures, I'd have to agree that our prisons house a large percentage of illegal immigrant convicted felons. These are the individuals nobody needs in America. I believe that even the current protesters and most liberal judges would agree with my proposal. Deporting felons to their country of origin upon conviction would be my first choice, but I realize that the appeals process makes immediate deportation impossible. I won't lobby for that idea, but I am offering an alternative. Let's construct prisons along the southern border of the United States. At intervals of approximately 200 miles, 10 good, strong prisons with back gates opening directly into Mexico should be sufficient to house the convicted and illegal felons until their release. Any immigrant from south of the border convicted of a felony that requires incarceration should be sent immediately to one of the border prisons to serve their time and await the appeals process. Surely, even the most liberal judge could not object to such a policy. Release through the back gates, guarded by armed observation towers, should assure the proper direction that the freed individual will take in the future. The guard towers surrounding each prison can serve a dual purpose, keeping prisoners inside the walls and keeping wanderers outside the U.S. borders. My ideas haven't necessarily always solved problems, but they certainly have a history of ameliorating them. While I'm a person who thinks of this planet as a whole and enjoys the benefits of free trade and unfettered travel, I strongly believe in the integrity of national borders until such time when all human beings can be trusted to possess personal integrity. Respectfully submitted, Marianne Tong.